Hello all, nice to meet you. I am your instructor for BISC105, Human Heredity and Development, Summer 2025. Hopefully you can figure out how to pronounce my name. If you said Dr. Boney, you are correct. So nice to meet you. Let's get into the course. Now this is going to look a little different than yours because this is a teacher view and I need to access things right now that you won't have access to the first day. But otherwise it'll look pretty much exactly the same. There's going to be a video here, you're clearly watching that. And so I just want to kind of go in order of what to do, how to navigate the course, how all this stuff is going to work. So obviously the first thing we want to do is take a look at the syllabus. And let me go ahead and let's make that full screen for you. Let's make it a little bit bigger. All right. So information, there's me. A couple things. I always like to give a background. I've been teaching for 29 years. I have 4 college degrees, all from UD, go Blue Hens. I have a bachelor's in biology. I have a master's in bioethics. I have a doctorate in secondary science curriculum instruction. And I have another doctorate in medical molecular science. So if you want to know anything about human heredity and development, I'm your guy. If you want to know how to fix your car or economics, I'm definitely not your guy. So this course, kind of how it works, I'm not going to read all this to you. You can read all of this yourself. Learning outcomes, that's pretty much what you're going to be getting. Okay, in terms of what you need, you absolutely have to have the McGraw-Hill Connect code. Now, as a UD student, that's automatically been charged to you or somebody. And so once the course starts after the 2 weeks, that will probably show up on your tuition bill or whomever is paying for the course. But you absolutely have to have that, and I'll show you how to access it. This is how you're graded, and so you can kind of get a sense of how that's going to work. And then here's the UD scale that we're going to use, so you can read all that. That's lovely. The most important part is this. This is a 1-month course, so it's gonna fly. But everything is organized for you so you know exactly what is due when, and when things are. And so you can see that for the most part, if a week goes from like 7:14 to 7:20, your assignments would be due 7:20 at 11:59 p.m. and that thing kind of like repeats down the line. And so hopefully that'll help you to kind of figure out the order of operations of when you should get work done. Again, most of them are like Monday through Sunday. And so that's important for you to note. You can read all the rest of the class policies. That's all good, but I wanted to go over that. So second thing is this little thing that says go here and register for Edpuzzle. Now this is free, and what it is, you'll see down here, by the way, that there's all these, like, you know, what is this, cell cycle, mitosis. Well, these are little like mini, usually 5 to 7 minute lectures, but they have embedded questions in them. So if we just take a look at this one right here, I'll just click on it. That'll be my voice talking, and you'll notice, by the way, that my name is not up here, and this is important. So if you just start to do this and you don't register, you're going to click get started and it's not going to work, because what you have to do is first you have to register for Edpuzzle. So now let me go back to what I meant by that statement. Whoop, I skipped the wrong thing real quick. Yeah, so just go ahead and click right here and it'll open up in a new tab. And you're like, what is all this stuff? Well, you're going to go way up here and you're going to hit sign up. And when you do that, you're going to say sign up with Edpuzzle. And you'll see that it's my course. And you can put in first name, last name, all that stuff. So once you actually, one time you have to do it. Once you log in and you create an account, then you're going to see what's going to happen. So if I now refresh this, and I'm going to click on this video again. There we go. Eukaryotic cell structure. It's the same one I was on before. And now you'll see my name is there. And so that means I'm obviously logged into it. And so basically what you'll do, this is the online lectures pretty much. And I want to show you what it looks like. It looks like a YouTube video. But if I scroll down, by the way, you can make it full screen, obviously, if you want. I would probably recommend watching it that way. But just for right now, you'll see that there's these little tick marks. So this video is 5 minutes 49 seconds. It's my voice as I go ahead and teach it. I'll get to the point right here. And again, this video, the way I designed it, is won't let you go fast forward. But there's embedded questions. Edpuzzle is not graded. This is not for a grade. It's to teach you. And so in the middle of this lecture, after I teach you about a minute of it, I'm going to have either a comment or a question, and it'll answer it for you instantly about whether you got it right or wrong. And so that's what all these are, all the way down the line. So I'm not leaving you hanging with just, hey, go learn stuff and take a test. I don't believe in that. So you can see this is a lecture video. So is this, so is this, so is this. All of those are lecture videos. So now let's talk about the McGraw-Hill work that you have to do with a series of quizzes, smart books, and the exam. So what you're going to do is to register for McGraw-Hill, you're just going to click on any of these assignments. Anything with a due date, by the way, is the McGraw-Hill stuff. And if you just click on that, let's see here, it should come up with a launch page. I lost my internet connection for a second. That's why it took so long. So yeah, literally all I did was I clicked on that, and then it went to this. And yours might look a little different because obviously I'm not a student in my own class. But it'll have you go into here. It'll have you register. If you've already used McGraw-Hill Connect for something before, like if you had me for geology or Bio 104, then you can just sign into your account. And you're going to do all of your assignments from Canvas. And so that's how you access everything. So don't just go typing McGraw-Hill, connect.com on the internet and go do your assignments. It will let you do it that way, but don't. So this is your smart book, and basically I'm going to show you what a smart book assignment looks like. So once you click on a smart book, and it's basically a way that I can kind of highlight for you the most important parts of a chapter. Look, I get it. It's 2025. It's like a lot of you don't read textbooks like we did when I was in school, because there was no internet when I was in high school. It just started when I was in college, so I actually had to sit down and read things. So this kind of in a way forces you to do it, but in a way that's much more, with much more brevity and directness towards what's important. So this will always tell you when something, by the way, I just made this up right now. And then what you can do is a couple things, is you have some reading, and what you'll see is that I have control on what I highlight and what I don't. And so in terms of this stuff, you can go basically page by page and read. You can read all of it. I mean, if you're a reader and that's what you do, then read all of it. But if you, like me, and I wasn't, you can go ahead and kind of tackle it this way. By the way, this is showing you some of the answers. And so after you read the part of it, you can go to the questions related on it. And it'll basically ask you, okay, understanding health, what can cause symptoms of illness? Doing a study of trillions and blank. I don't know, maybe cells. There we go. That kind of thing. And how confident? I'm pretty confident. And it says correct. So that's kind of what it is. It's a way to have you kind of study for the exam while you're actually in the course. I think that's a great way to learn. So that's what the smart books are. So then obviously the quizzes are the quizzes. And you are going to see some of those questions again on the exam. That is how I designed this course. Everything that you see in your little lectures and the quizzes, you're going to see on the test. And so then the other thing we have to figure out is what other things are here to help you out. And so the first thing you're going to notice, by the way, is that there's a PowerPoint. Some of you are PowerPoint people. I'm not a huge PowerPoint person, but I'm not here to take that away from you. So once this thing loads up, and again, I don't even need to have it load up right now, my computer's slow, but there is the PowerPoint. So if you are a PowerPoint person, you can go ahead and study also that way. And one more important thing I realized was not active, and I just made it active, probably helps, is what the heck's on the test. So obviously you have a lot of resources. You have these lecture videos, you have the PowerPoint, you have the smart book, you have the quizzes. All of these things are different ways to prepare you for the test, but ultimately you're going to be like, what's on the test? So if you want to know what's on the test, it's not a trick. There's what's on the test. I've always believed in clear learning targets. I remember many times I was in your shoes. I'd have a test on chapters 1 through 3, and I would ask the professor, hey, what's on the test? And they'd say, read chapters 1 through 3. And I couldn't stand that, and so that's not how I operate. So if you want to know now there's a few things on the test that may not be here, but what you see here is the majority, 90+% of what's on the test. So this is what I would concentrate on as you go through the PowerPoints, the book, the smart book stuff, the quizzes, the lecture notes. That's it. And again, you take all of that through this course. So I suggest that you go down the line. Start here. Then if you want the PowerPoint, this follows the order. Then go through chapter 2, and then it repeats for chapter 3. And then there is your exam on 2 and 3. And literally that will just repeat all the way down the line. And so the other thing that I'm also going to do is that I typically will have like 2 or sometimes 3. Like you'll notice here that the exam 1 opens up the first day of class, and the exams 2 stuff opens up literally the day after that. So I always like to give you a week ahead, because let's just say that you have a lot of time on your hands this week coming up, and you could have gone farther with starting some of the work on exam 2, except I didn't open it yet. So that's why I always have stuff open a week ahead, so you can kind of work ahead if you want. And that is it. So then the question is, like, what's my role? What do I do? Well, I can be used in a bunch of different ways. The first one is maybe you don't need me at all. Maybe you're like, hey dude, thanks, this is pretty clear, I know what I got to do, you set me up for success, and that's fine. But on the other hand, if you're reading something and you don't really understand something about it, then email me. We can either set up a Zoom, or I can write you back. What I don't want to hear is like, Dr. B, the night before the exam, Dr. B, I don't understand chapter 3. Like, that's not going to happen. It's going to be something like, hey, like in chapter 3, I'm still having trouble understanding haploid and diploid. That's a question I would answer. It tells me that you've already put in the work, and you just need clarification. So that's what my role will be. And I will be sending you all, announcements and emails throughout the weeks to kind of make sure you are good to go. And on that note, if you have any other questions, let me know. Welcome to the class.